What's going on, Internet? We've made it. It's Wednesday. We're here. When you watch this, it'll probably be really late Wednesday, maybe really early Thursday. I don't know. I don't know if you fuckers sleeping or not. Hi, I'm Tom. I have a pilgrim beard. Um, we have
You are Amish looking.
I am very Amish looking today. We have some good stuff for you today, so we're just gonna go down the list. Next to me in the picture box is Randall, the webhead bot person.
It stayed the same this week.
Yeah, he didn't change his Twitter handle this week. Next to him, we have Lance at Chuck Sweats, or also his forehead.
So I just want to show off this lovely background of dog shit where Halo does not fucking work. You had one job, 343, one fucking job, and you fucking failed. It doesn't even goddamn work. And I'm going to leave it on the whole show and see if we can actually get into matchmaking, which we probably can't.
Next to him, the beautiful drawn beard, possibly for the last time, we have Jacob.
What's up, guys? I don't have anything to complain about this week, so yeah.
Yeah, no complaints. On the end here, bringing it home, solo mom, Mandy.
Hey, Internet. From my murder basement, as usual.
The murder basement is strong. With the Captain America cup, keeping you safe, though, under the creepy lights.
Yes.
Yeah. And our special guest this week, who just got back from the lovely land of Blizzcon, we got Chris.
Hello.
As you can tell, he is real excited to be here. So let's start with Chris, man. Sir, walk us through Blizzcon. Tell us a little bit about your weekend.
Oh man, I don't even know where to start. BlizzCon's kind of crazy. There was like 25 to 30,000 people there. I didn't know much going into it, so I just kind of showed up, and I went for StarCraft because I'm a big StarCraft fan. So I went to watch the BlizzCon finals at the end of the year, which was all a bunch of Koreans. And I got my wife to go. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw her tweeting from there. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, what? She went with him? Like, to StarCraft? It's pretty sweet.
She's watched a little bit with me, so she knows a little bit about it. She's not a fan, but
it's true love right there for you.
Yeah. You just wanted to go to Disneyland.
Hey, free ticket, right?
Right. But she really liked it, actually, because she works at a multi-level marketing company that does a lot of conventions. So she got to kind of go and just like check out how they do things, and she was kind of blown away by just the scale of everything because it's so massive. I think they had all of the Anaheim Convention Center. Like normally when you do a convention, you just get certain parts. But they had the whole building blocked out.
Jeez.
So, and I know they put on a huge. I mean, I'm sure the bandwidth they use over that weekend is just insane. So.
They had a schedule full for every one of their games. When it opened up on Friday, they had an opening ceremony. That was really cool. I wasn't sure if I was going to go to that, but I decided I better. And that was packed, like absolutely packed. We were so far back we couldn't even see the main screen. We were just watching the TVs they had set every so often. Mike Warhain came out, talked about just welcoming everybody, and then they actually revealed some of that's where they did all their reveals. So the energy and hype in that room was really cool when they showed Overwatch and StarCraft, Legacy of the Void.
Very cool.
See, and that's an announcement I was pretty excited about because I love the story of StarCraft. Like, I don't do the multiplayer like you and Lucas do. I generally just blast the campaign and I'm done. But Legacy of the Void looks super sick. Like, I'm way stoked.
Yeah, those cinematics look pretty impressive. And I play Protoss, so that looks pretty fun.
Yeah, I think for you especially.
Yeah,
are you doing a lot of new units and stuff too?
Yeah, not too many though. It'll be the same as Heart of the Swarm. So they'll have, like, I think they've announced about 6 units for multiplayer, but then the campaign will be like the other 2, where they just fill it full of units that aren't necessarily balanced, just so you can mess around and have fun. Like they said, the Reaver will probably make an appearance. I tried the demo, and they had dragons in there. So stuff like that. It'll be cool.
No way, cool.
Nice. So, what
Um,
was your favorite part about the con, Chris?
Oh, that's gonna be obvious. It was definitely the StarCraft. They are into
All
that.
right. What?
No, go for it.
So I was gonna say I went to BlizzCon, like it's been probably 4 or 5 years now. What do you like? What kind of drawbacks would you say, or what could you suggest to anybody who's watching it that maybe wants to go to BlizzCon, struggles that you came across or anything like that?
It's a good question. Definitely book your travel early. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go still, so I was going to sell my tickets. But you can't sell your tickets. They are tied to you. You can sell them, but you actually have to go in person and have your physical ID and the card you paid with to redeem your tickets. So it's not feasible to sell them. So a week
Wow, that's
before-
interesting.
That's
Yeah, they changed
stupid.
it. It's through Eventbrite, and you can make.
Well, I'll tell you.
Okay, you can kind of sell them. Up until June, you can make name changes and then sell them that way. But I think you still have to have your original card and ID physically there to redeem them.
They do the entire
Do
con.
you want to
through
know why
Eventbrite?
they did that?
It's
Do you want to know the reason?
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Sorry.
What's your reason?
So when I went to BlizzCon, I had lost my job before we went. So I had paid for my ticket for BlizzCon to my friend. At that point, I had not paid for my plane ticket. I hadn't paid for anything else. Basically, after they announced all the shit that I was going to get with my BlizzCon ticket, my friend put up everything on eBay. Like, it was the year they did the polar bear for World of Warcraft with I can't remember if it was a mount or if it just had they do things with Murlocs a lot. Anyways, the money that he got for selling all my garb from BlizzCon paid for my plane ticket and my hotel.
Oh,
So
wow.
I can see
you
why
kidding?
they did that. Yeah, just on
So,
eBay.
Chuck
So
is
I
the
can see
reason that you can't sell your ticket.
I break
You
the
are welcome.
system. You have to pay for it, Chris.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
welcome, Internet.
I'm sure there's some other reasons, but
I'm just.
What does that say about people
I'm
that they're willing to
Just
spend
check.
that much money for all
so
No,
that?
that
it's-
led me to be
it's
like, now I have to go. So I'm looking into hotels and everything's sold out, right?
Mhm.
So we ended up getting something, but it costs a lot more, and the flight costs a little bit more. It wasn't a big deal, but I would definitely book a lot earlier in the future and get like a hotel that's right by the convention center, so you can just walk. We had to take a cab every morning and night to get back, but it wasn't a huge deal. That's something I would definitely do. I'd also make sure to try and kind of map out what they're going to have at the con so that you can divvy up your time, because you can't do everything. It's impossible.
What else, like other than the StarCraft stuff, what else was there? Like, because I don't know much at all about BlizzCon. Like, what else is there to see? Is it kind of like a Comic-Con, like a
Sort of,
Or-
but
Mhm.
only for Blizzard stuff.
what's the company Blizzard, right?
Right.
Oh, okay,
It's
gotcha.
all Blizzard stuff. It's their convention. They put everything on. So they had every single one of their games was featured. So Diablo 3, Hearthstone, StarCraft 2, World of Warcraft. I feel like I'm missing something. And then the new game Overwatch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So every one of those games had something new to them. Even Diablo 3 just had some tweaks, no major expansion. So every game had these massive stations you could go demo the game at
Fun.
that had like 500 computers at. Except the
Oh, cool.
Overwatch one, I'm sure had like 1,000 computers. It was insane.
And I'm sure
So
the
that
line
took
for
up a big
Overwatch
chunk
is
of the
an hour.
area. Say that again?
I'm sure the line for Overwatch is probably like an hour wait too, just to even look at it.
It was huge, and I kept talking to people after, and they asked if I had played, and I told them no, but they said the line actually went really fast, so I kind of missed out, but whatever. And then they have panels for every one of their games that you can go to and check out what they're doing. So StarCraft had one for the campaign that they talked about, their goals with it, and then for multiplayer. Hearthstone, they had a new card pack coming, 140 cards. They talked all about that and demoed some of the cards. They did a panel about how to win an arena in Hearthstone. There was some about Diablo art, I believe. World of Warcraft had a bunch of stuff, but I don't play that, so I don't have any idea what they actually did. And then StarCraft 2, Hearthstone, and then World of Warcraft all had huge tournaments going on at them. So those were going on both days that you could go sit and watch. So people kind of bounced around between all of them. Like anytime a match ended in StarCraft 2, people would just leave and go to some other thing, and then they'd filter back in. So that was the majority of what you could do there. There was booths for everything there too. Like Intel had a booth. You could go check out some of their equipment and play against some StarCraft 2 pros or with them. SteelSeries had a big booth there. There was big statues from a lot of the games, like Kerrigan, Jim Raynor, a bunch of stuff from World of Warcraft. These massive statues. I don't know if they're from Blizzard HQ or what, but those were there. They had. Have you guys seen the choppers they're making? The Azeroth choppers. Heard anything about those?
No.
Mm-mm.
They're like building them in the game, right? They're building like mounts and stuff that look like motorcycles, and they have like some series
Right.
about it, and I think they enlisted the people from American Chopper for it.
Yeah, they got Paul Jr., whatever his new company's called, because he left the original Orange County. So the son, he's got his own company, and they actually made 2 choppers and put the series on YouTube. And those are were available at Blizzcon to check out. So just a bunch of weird stuff like that.
I think my favorite part about that con was the fact that I got to play Diablo 3 about 2.5 years or 2 years before everybody else. And I kind of wish that it had turned out the way that I had played it. And I am kind of bummed that you did not play Overwatch, for the record.
As well.
I'm sure I'll regret it later, but for now I still don't really care. I went to
You're gonna regret that
StarCraft and I
later.
got all my StarCraft.
To be honest, I enjoyed all that time. Like, we went through the line so many fucking times playing that game. And that's the nice thing about BlizzCon as opposed to like something like Comic-Con is you get a lot of hands-on time with these games that are not even out yet. So, and that's really cool. I mean, I felt like it was a really good experience. I loved all of it, even the strippers that they dressed up like Blood Elves, because they hire the local talent
Sounds
there.
like I missed out.
It's not cosplayers, it's local talent, guys. We got to give those strippers some extra money somewhere.
That's why
So-
fans went through the line so many times. It wasn't to play the game.
No, they weren't playing the game. No, they're just walking around like, hey, it's a blood elf.
Hookers.
Lance is trying to get in that fantasy champagne room.
That's something I would add to the list of things to do then in the future. So my assumption was there's like 30,000 people here, and they have these demo stations that even though they're massive, that I'm sure that everyone's just going to want to play them. But since they have so many and there's so much to do, you could actually get through lines really quickly. So I assumed like, oh, I'm going to have to wait 3 hours just to play Overwatch. So I never even tried. I just figured I would do what I wanted and then catch a beta of it later or something. No, that's not the case. Like, you could totally wait in lines and get that. But speaking of lines, the BlizzCon store line, have you had any experience with that, Lance?
No, I didn't. I'm not one of those people, like, I'm not a statue person or anything like that. Now that I have an office job, I thought about putting a little bit of stuff at work, but I don't really like a lot of that stuff. It's just kind of dust collecting shit to me. So I don't really I kind of gave up on collector's editions of anything
Right.
around the time that like Sin City collector's edition came out. And I was like, how the fuck am I buying this shit? I'm paying extra money for something I don't care about that much. So, anyways, continue.
I mostly agree with you on that. That's a different topic. The store at BlizzCon has a bunch of like unique and exclusive things. Well, people start lining up for that right after the opening ceremony, and the line took 4 hours to get through. It weaved all around the whole area in there, and we asked some people that just came out, and they said they had waited for 4 hours. And it's just to buy like a bunch of T-shirts and stuff. Like, it's not anything that cool.
Can you imagine how much money? I bet that store alone paid for them to have that convention. Like we
They
sold
had to have made so much
50,000
money.
T-shirts and paid for the entire convention with it. So I'd be curious to know.
So we went up to the store the last day after StarCraft ended, and there was no line. And most of the stuff was sold out, but ha!
Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. It's just my controller. Let me turn it back
I
on.
hope it actually
We'll
kicked
still search
you
for a
out of
match.
matchmaking now. I hope it did.
Nope, I'm still in matchmaking. I'm still searching for a game, guys.
Alright.
Hey, if
So-
you find me on Xbox Live, try to join my game, please.
I want you to quit that matchmaking and try again.
Okay.
No, because that'll ruin the image there, because it'll probably find a match.
Just as you hit quit.
Okay. Well, so there's the end of our BlizzCon segment for the night. We just wanted Chris to give we'll call it the Chris report. Thank you, sir, for coming on. I know you had things to do, places to be, but you're welcome to hang out. We'd love to hear from you. So,
I'll hang out for a bit, and then I'll probably drop to go play games or something.
sounds good. Cool.
I see how
Better things
important I
to do.
am. I see how important I am.
I'll hang out here so I can correct Lance on anything he says about Halo.
Yeah.
He'll play his own matchmaking and then send Lance a screenshot and be like, I got
Alright.
it, no problem.
So that's
All right.
Speaking of matchmaking, let's move right on to it. So, Lance, Steve, and Randy all bought the Master Chief Collection, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
All right. Well, what do you gentlemen kick us off? Let us know what you think about it.
Go ahead, Randy.
I'm going to have a lot less to say than you, I think. So I haven't actually tried any of the multiplayer yet because I'm more of a campaign person. So I've been going through the campaign, haven't had any problems. It looks good. It's a lot of fun to replay. And really, I'm happy with my purchase. I'm very, very excited about it. And that's where I stand, Lance.
Hey, I'm not gonna sway your opinion on it, but I am gonna say a few things. So, when I purchased the game, I was on the fence. Everybody knows that. To me, I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay, I'm buying this game out of nostalgia. This game is outdated. There is nothing new about Halo like Halo 2, right? So if we're talking Halo 4 or we're talking about Halo 5, really the biggest thing that finally pushed me over the edge was I get a Halo 5 beta. That was the one thing. I was like, okay, I get a Halo 5 beta. I can see what they're doing different. I can see if this series is worth pursuing. And I get to play a game that I hold near and dear to my heart. I played the shit out of Halo 2. I came late to the party on Halo 1. I can't remember. I was about 2 years in when Halo 1 had been out. I actually have an original Halo Xbox, the green one. And that's okay. So there's my one collector's item I have. So still. So as I bought the game, I started playing through some things, and I started really getting a disconnect. The original Halo is not as close to me as a lot of people, so I started playing through that while the game was loading. I can't say that I'll actually ever complete that story, but I was just trying to take a look at how, like, what it looked like on the Xbox One and how well it converted and everything, and I felt Halo 1 probably about a B minus. So I started playing Halo 2 once it finally loaded, and that I've been fairly disappointed in single player. First and foremost, the thing that bothers me the most is they spend so much time like trying to just recreate the same thing, and that's fine because obviously I know that that's what it is. But there's things that kept pulling me out of it, like the fact that the characters move fucking fast as shit. So like you got guys that are just moving unnatural across the screen because they've bitmapped over the top of an old character that's 10, 15 years old or whatever the game is. I don't even know at this point. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. They're just going over the original game. And I remember seeing something in the documentary that I should have. It was pretty much propaganda for the new game coming out that they put on the Xbox One. Because I had watched part of that and I shut it off because I'm like, okay, they're just giving me propaganda to buy the new game. So I open up the door, or the door bursts on that first part where you encounter the Covenant on Halo 2, the first elite that comes through the door, it's fucking like janky and loses frame rates immediately. I'm like, why the fuck did you up the frame rates just so I drop frame rates on a single player game that's this old? So that all aside, because everybody knows that for me, I don't care about single player. That's not my bread and butter. That's not what I play, and I could care less about single player that much. So I'm just playing this while I'm waiting for multiplayer to load. And then this happens. So I actually got a chance to take a look at what the maps actually look like while I'm waiting for this, and the maps look good. I can't complain about that. I actually went in and just did a single player, like as if I was locally hosted or I'm inviting people to it, and looked at a lot of the maps. Lockout looks good. Ascension looks amazing.
Are you talking the anniversary maps?
Yeah, it actually that is the only saving grace for this pile of dog shit that is sitting behind me right now. Is that those things that I played so much time? I remember, like, at that point in time in my life, like, I didn't have a lot of stuff going on. I just had me. I was living with my dad in a shitty apartment, and I was playing on, like, I remember on Christmas Day I was playing Halo 2 and those types of things, and really that game was a staple in my life at that point. So very, very nostalgic. Very much the multiplayer, once it gets actually going, should be really good. I think that if they did anything right, once they figure out this bullshit behind me, it'll probably be really good. Hopefully it's not laggy. I haven't heard anybody actually complaining once they get into a match, but I have heard a lot of people complaining about getting into matchmaking. So hopefully that gets fixed. I mean, it is opening weekend for it, so at some point or another, I'm expecting a patch to come through. So
they've already put a few out on the server side.
Yeah, well,
I heard a really cool bug though that sounds awesome. So a lot of times when you're searching, it'll find a match and start. It looks like it's going to start, and then it cancels and drops and kicks you back out. But all the people that had matched.
You said that was a cool bug?
Yeah, all the people it matched you with are now in your party.
Oh, I saw that. Actually, yesterday I was playing and I was like, how did all these people end up in my fucking party?
That's awesome.
I didn't actually. I have not, for the record.
Friends for free, man.
Right. So
It's
I
like
have not
speed dating.
actually even gotten to a game yet. The only time I've actually seen the levels is me just going in by myself to take a look at the match. That's it. That's the only thing.
How long have you had it for?
I got it yesterday in the afternoon. So I got home from work around like 5 o'clock, plugged it into my Xbox, loaded 15 fucking gigs of shit, and it's still, I haven't even gotten to a match yet.
And judging by your in and out voice connection, that 15 gigs must have taken like 6 years. I'm pretty sure I think they flew the data in by Sparrow.
Listen,
like, in a little
not
basket.
everybody has
Hamster
fiber.
wheels.
Not
Hamster
everybody
wheels.
has fiber. Some of us have to be on the big,
Like the
big
3D
fat Comcast.
and dropping off a little data byte at a time.
Right, the little like I imagine every load screen looking like that now, like the little bird flying bobbles into the
You
package.
can hear the sounds. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Bloop, bloop.
All I'm gonna say is, fuck you, Comcast. Fuck you. Your fucking shitty connection.
So
Yeah, you have 50 up and 15 down, or sorry, 50 down and 15 up. Yeah, right.
okay,
How
so
did you-
I, for one, am glad it's not matching you up because I don't want to have to play with your shitty ass internet.
Oh, please, I'm gonna friend you.
You
Chris,
must be-
and we're gonna play.
You don't
against
need
each
to
other.
friend him. Just make sure you get in the same match, and you'll be his friend for free. So it's fine.
all right.
So,
So-
Chris, have you gotten in it? Have you played? Are you
Well,
enjoying
I really wanted to play the campaigns first, so I only tried to do matchmaking once. And I got into a match, and I've been playing Destiny, so Halo feels so weird that I just quit the game and then went to Green.
Okay. And then, Jacob,
funny.
working for a big game corporation, have you had any people coming back returning it already, or not yet?
No, nothing yet. Everybody's just buying it, screaming, "Halo, Halo, Halo, Halo."
Randy, you should let the internet know what awesomeness you heard when you were buying your
Oh
games
my God, please
from the
share
Oh,
kids in
this.
front
yeah.
of you.
Okay. So I'm standing in line. And first of all, you go in early to like finalize your pre-order, right? And so I'm standing in line to do that, and this kid like cuts in front of me, and he's probably like 16, 17, and he like looks at me like wondering if I'm gonna like freak out at him. And friend kind of looks at me too, and I'm like, you guys, they have enough games, and I have a reserved copy. Like it's okay. Like I promise you, they have enough games for everybody here. And so, anyways, like and it was kind of disorganized, like who was next in line, so it really didn't bother me at all. Finish up with that, then we're outside waiting in line, and I realized, first of all, that I should just sit in my car until the line starts moving, and then go get in my place in line rather than stand there freezing my butt off. Anyways, these kids are like talking about Halo and how amazing it is, and the kids like, man, Destiny sucks. They totally just copied the guys that made Halo. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you've got to be joking. Oh, and then it was like a 5 minute conversation of how bad Destiny was and how Halo is so much better. And the guy that was behind me, he kind of saw my face and he was like, "Are you gonna say anything?" And I was like, "No."
No,
Yeah.
we're just gonna let
I
that.
don't
We're gonna let
get
that
robbed
just
by a bunch of
gestate.
teenagers.
Oh
I'm an
hell.
adult. I'll go to jail.
You
Like,
should. You should
I'm
have just.
okay.
You should have just Googled who made Destiny, and then screenshotted it, and then like who made Halo, and then just hand them the screen and be like, here you go.
Knowing these kids, they'd be like, "No, that's a different Bungie company because
Uh-huh.
that B looks a little bit different
They
or
didn't.
something."
I mean, because it's the Bungie. It's the same Bungie that made Oni. It's a different group of guys. It's a
Oh, it
totally
was
different
so
group of
funny
guys.
though. I could not stop laughing. And first of all, even if it was a different company, Destiny's amazing. I'm sorry, you can't hate on Destiny. It's a
Oh
solid
yes, you
game.
can.
Oh, come on,
It's a
Tom.
solid game. It's a game that launched, at least for the Xbox One, in my experience, flawlessly with multiplayer, not what's going on behind Chuck there. So that's where I stand
Wah,
on
wah.
Halo.
Okay, so we've got a
Hey,
couple of minutes to move into. I think Randy's the only one here that bought Assassin's Creed Unity. Is that correct?
Um, what's his bucket? Steve has it
Steve.
too, but he's not
Hmm.
here.
He doesn't count.
Um,
All
yeah,
right.
he doesn't.
So give us your elevator pitch on Assassin's Creed
Um,
Unity.
Lots of fun when you're actually playing the game. More of the same problems of when you're climbing up a wall, all of a sudden you'll like lurch to something that you don't want to lurch, and you're like, no, climb up this
How
way instead.
I
how
was I was watching Randy stream like when he he first got it, and living vicariously through him because I don't have an Xbox One yet, and
Black
he
Friday.
he was trying. I know. He was trying to jump through a window, and he like jumped to the side, and he's being chased, and he like jumps to the other side, and he like is getting shot, and he's like stumbling down, like it
And then
took
I
him
jumped
so
like
long.
over the window, and then when you get to the window, you have to push a different to go through the window. And I was like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Biggest complaint with the game, other than some of the parkour stuff, is a little, and that's how it's always been. If you're not watching carefully where you're going, you'll like kind of snap to the nearest place. Would be that the load screens are ridiculously long. Like, and they have a lot of characters on the street and all that, but I feel like the load screens are just too long for where we're at, I guess you could say. Um, but I'm enjoying the game so far. No big complaints there. So I haven't got to any of the multiplayer stuff yet, any of the can't co-op missions. So we'll see.
Okay. All right. So where do we want to go from here, guys? Do we want to move into Black Friday discussion, or should we save that for next week?
So
no, we probably need to get it out real quick and just
Okay.
talk about it. Um,
So we'll talk. So last.
games when you're ready.
Okay. So last week we talked about, we'll just do this quickly and then we'll move into our lovely comic book game discussion. But last week we talked about upcoming releases. As everybody knows, you got Dragon Age next week, Pokemon next week. My God, what else? Smash Brothers next week, Amiibos next week. So it's a huge launch week, and then of course the week after that being Black Friday. So yeah, let's take it that way. Who wants to start with their Black Friday deals? Lance, you were kind of shouting off the Best Buy ones, so
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know how I'm gonna balance all these, but I've been on the
Just hit
fence
the
about getting
highlights.
Diablo. Right. Diablo 3 is gonna be $30.
Nice.
Walking Dead's gonna be 20.
Hmm.
Shadow of Mordor is gonna be 25, which
That's
despite
awesome.
Randy and his bad taste, 25 bucks for Shadow of Mordor, great price, and I might actually buy it at that price. Dead Rising's on sale. I want to say it was either 25 or 30. Evil Within is going to be 25 fucking dollars. That
Oh
is
my
a great
god,
deal.
that is absolutely worth it too for 25.
The new Alien game is going to be $30,
It's
which
still
that actually,
overpaying.
considering Alien, I would say it's worth $30 based on the fact that I have played that game. I saw the Turtle Beach headset for 40. Randy said he saw it for 30 on Target.
It could have been wrong.
Disney Infinity is going to be $40 for the starter pack for the Marvel one, and then 3 for $33 on the individual figures. So, good question about that is, does that actually come with, say, like if you got all Spider-Man, Venom, and then the other guy from the Spider-Man set, does
Nova.
that complete it?
Well, the thing is, with the Spider-Man and Nova, it comes with a vehicle too, so that's technically a different pack than a character pack.
Yeah, you'd have to, that's like a booster
So,
pack. You buy it for 20
right.
bucks
It's different.
or whatever.
And so I don't think it qualifies because Spider-Man and Nova aren't, as far as I know, aren't sold separately. They're only
Right.
sold together.
Look at that
So.
sad face, Chuck. You just make Chuck get a sad face.
Seriously, I just wanted to buy Venom. I wanted to buy Venom and a couple other players, but I need to
Venom.
play them in the toy box.
Buy Venom, buy Hulk, and buy Groot. Those are all individual characters.
Yep.
They're going to be very popular, and so to get them for the cheap price, there you go.
Yeah.
And
If you
I,
can find
Great.
Venom, you're gonna be in good shape. All I
Yeah.
have to say is good luck.
dude, I would hit toy. Like
Really?
I've seen.
I
it-
haven't seen a Venom in over 2 weeks.
Really.
I've seen Venom at Target, or I mean at Walmart every time I go in.
And I've
But
seen
going
it-
to Walmart on Black Friday means
Yeah,
you're
good
brave.
luck.
No, that's like the zombie apocalypse style of insanity. Truly, like
I saw-
kill me right now.
That's about it for me.
Yeah.
You can get gold for $15 for 3 months right
Nice.
now, or on Black Friday. I don't know if they'll have a deal on the year, but considering 3 months is $15, hopefully
bad.
there's a good deal on the year.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth noting too that Cyber Monday is right after, and that's what a lot of us. That's what I'm doing. I took the week of Cyber Monday off work just because I could, but I'm probably gonna sit at home in my underwear and drink beer and go shopping.
I'll be back at work. Fuck you, Tom.
Yeah.
Walmart's got a really good one.
Who does?
You see Walmart's doing Xbox One with Master Chief Collection for $330.
Well, it's crazy because and there's a lot of those. So Walmart's doing that one. Target is doing the Assassin's Creed bundle without Connect and a $50 Target gift card for $330. Shopko is doing the Assassin's Creed bundle for $330. So like
And the Assassin's Creed bundle is Black Flag and Unity.
and Unity. So if you're looking to get
Oh,
a
really?
Yeah, Mandy, get on
I
it.
haven't played
No
either.
excuse.
Damn it.
Tell your husband,
If-
too bad, this
I
baby
know.
doesn't.
well, and
That's what breast milk is for.
Well, and here's the thing is, I mean, GameStop is usually the last to leak their Black Friday ad, but they usually do some pretty cool console bundles. So I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see something pretty impressive from them to combat this.
I saw another one. I think it was through Amazon, or it could have been Best Buy. I can't remember which. Lance, you may know about the Best Buy stuff, but it was an Xbox bundle with AC, Unity, and also like a year subscription of Xbox.
That was Best Buy. Yep.
Was that Best Buy? Okay.
Mhm.
Not that I need to like rebuy my subscription because it's just on like an automatic renewal, but it's a good $60.
Yeah. It's,
Saves
So-
your pain.
You
okay.
could buy Master Chief.
I know.
Alrighty. Well, Jacob, would you like to lead us into our the last 10 minutes of our show with our discussion?
Sure. I mean, with all the announcements that we've had of all the different movies coming from both Marvel and DC, we figured we'd talk a little bit about some of the good comic book games we've played and the majority of the horrendous comic book games that we've
Right.
played.
So, who wants to? I can take a dive first, if you will.
Either way.
I want a good comic book game to come along with a movie, finally. You think with Disney being there, they've got development studios. There's Avalanche, it's in Salt Lake. They've got they did Disney Infinity. They've got great developers on their side now. I just want something good. I mean,
Tom, you can shit in one hand and wish in the other and see which
Yeah.
one fills up first.
And
But
seriously,
to be
like,
fair, on that point though, I mean, you look at Disney Infinity, because of Guardians of the Galaxy, they now have the Guardians playset, which is all. I mean, it's part of a game. Maybe
Mhm.
it might not be a full game unto itself, but they're making steps in the right direction. And if it
right.
wasn't for the movie, we would never have gotten the Guardians playset.
Yep.
It's true.
So I want something like that, you know. I don't want to relive the awfulness of the Iron Man 2 game or Superman Returns
Spider-Man
or
3.
Spider-Man 3. You know, I want something cool and I want a fun one, you know. I want another like I thought Ultimate Spider-Man was really good. There's another one too, Web of Shadows. Like I want something like that, something really comic booky, really fun, really solid. So,
You know, there seems to be said about like some studios that actually managed to make good games out of shitty movies, like the Wolverine game was
yeah.
fuck fun
Oh, it was so good.
as hell.
Right, but we're not talking mainly movie games. We're talking comic book
Comic
games.
book games.
Right.
Mhm.
Mhm. So,
And I agree that I'm want a good comic book with a game with a good storyline. Like obviously everyone talks about the Batman games because those did stem from the comics,
they
and
were really good.
they kind of set the bar for that. I would like to see them do something other than Batman though. See if they can do something similar with like a Green Arrow type character or something like that. Um, I want a really good X-Men game though. Like
Same
a
here.
really good X-Men game where you have a variety of characters to choose from. You can play as your favorite, and you don't have to touch Cyclops if you don't want to because he's.
Cyclops was right.
Seriously, is that even really a thing anymore? I mean, I am so burned out on X-Men, I could just give up the whole fucking series. The
Oh,
new movie was
I love
ugh.
X-Men.
I,
No,
I,
I have such a crush on freaking Michael Fassbender. Hello. Plus,
I mean,
I think they've done such a fantastic job from the first X-Men to the latest. I think they've like completely revamped it. And I will say I did actually play a super fun like arcade game. I was just thinking about that. You reminded me of it, Randy. It was a it was an X-Men one. It was a free download on my Xbox 360, and I actually got Micah, my husband, to play it with me, and it was so fun. I was Wolverine. And,
Was
like,
it the classic one? Was it
kicking everybody.
the classic arcade one?
It was an arcade, yeah. It was like you had to like, I guess for you, you go this way. Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. It reminded me a lot of like my Nintendo days, and I forgot to buy it because, I'm a cheap ass. But it was really fun.
Both
I am
the X-Men Legend games were a lot of fun.
X-Men
I was
Legends
actually
was
going
a
to
lot of
mention
fun,
that.
but we haven't had a really good one since then. And although they were fun, I want more than just like the dungeon crawler style.
Yeah.
Like I want one where I can actually choose Gambit and go through his cool story arc or whatever it may be. And I mean, my favorite part of the X-Men Legends games was playing as Nightcrawler, grabbing somebody and then teleporting them off screen where they couldn't get back.
I think fun is relative when we're talking about old games, because for me, I had a Game Boy, so I remember the X-Men game for a Game Boy on the original Game Boy,
Yeah, I had the
and
same
it
one.
was
Fun.
it was kind of shitty, but I still
It was
played it
fun,
because at that
though.
point I still liked it. But I'm just gonna say that the X-Men are beaten to death, and I would wish that they would go away.
No, man. No.
Yes, go away.
I say keep him forever.
Go away.
Keep Michael Fassbender forever, at least. That's all that I care about.
And he's nice on the
I'm
eyes.
sorry, but the comic book nerd in me is like, you're mixing movies and comics, and we're talking about comics. Michael Fassbender is not in the comics, Mandy.
But
Save
it's the
this
same.
for the
Hey,
discussion.
It's the same.
he's in my world.
But I mean, that's the truth of the matter. The world we live in, you know, the comics are inspired a lot by the movies now, and vice versa.
Mhm.
And that's true.
I mean, video
Yeah.
games are even doing it. Like I was in the comic shop the other day. I wonder if I have it in my stack. Like I actually bought an Evil Within comic. Like it's all kind of cross-pollinating, and even if you look at the way they're drawing Captain America and the way they're drawing Falcon, they look like the people from the show because that's how they're gonna sell it to the kids, right?
Right.
Interesting.
So, but yeah,
Can I just say that despite how good the Batman Arkham Asylum games did, the Batman Lego games are complete dog shit.
Batman 2 was bad. Batman 1 and 3 might be alright. Lance froze, by the way, so I'm just talking over him. Yeah,
He's now
nothing.
Sorry, Batman 1 was terrible.
You did it.
Here's the only reason to play that I know of so far to play Lego Batman 3. You can unlock 60s Batman, voiced by Adam West, and when you punch people,
Yes.
bam, kapow.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
that might make me want to buy it because, for the record, I have a Batman tattoo on my leg because I hate sharks. And in the Batman, in the 70s Batman, he gets bitten by a shark in the movie on his leg, and he pulls anti-shark spray off his belt. So I have anti-shark spray in a dead shark's mouth. So I have that on my leg.
So I think
That's awesome.
I am a fan.
So I think the other thing, so if I could venture, the two comic book games I want to see, and maybe we could do this to end the show. Everybody mentioned one or two comic book games they want to see made or remade. I want them to remake The Tick from Super Nintendo in HD.
Yes.
That game was the shit. It was
Oh
so
my
much fun.
gosh.
Oh, I loved The Tick. And then
Tick was rad.
it was a great show too. It was just a funny everything.
Awesome show.
And I cannot remember the other one I want. So just The Tick. Give me The
Ooh.
Tick all day every day.
Ooh. Next, me.
Go.
Okay, so
X-Men.
first, no, fuck that. No, the Spider-Man arcade or Spider-Man from PS1.
Oh yeah.
Make it
The
HD.
Spider-Man
The
cartoon.
one that's based on the one that's
No,
based
the Amazing
on the
Spider-Man.
cartoon.
Oh.
Yeah, it's based on the cartoon. Fucking amazing. That first, I would say probably the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade second.
Cool.
Yes.
So those
But
are,
I mean, how do you remake
those
that?
are remakes of games though. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What'd you say, Randy?
I like turtles.
Vibrator going.
I like
Ramcom 5000.
Mute him again, Tom. I'm done listening to it. The
Ramcom 5000.
comic that's going on right now is amazing.
Yeah.
So if they could make a game out of that storyline, it would be
That's
awesome. Not
Well,
the movie, but the comics.
Well, and here's the thing: is they've made 4 Ninja Turtles games in the last 2 years, and they've all been total shit. So
Right.
they need to like
Which is also sad because the Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles show is awesome.
exactly.
But the
It
games
is.
suck.
Yeah.
And the games are terrible, so they need to figure out. They've got an amazing comic series, and they've got an amazing TV show. They need to capitalize on that and get a good game out. So
Have they hit any ruts because of the new movie that came out, or is that TV
No,
show still going
not
pretty
really,
strong?
because the TV show's still going strong, and the kids that like the TV show will actually enjoy the movie because they're kids and they don't care about plot holes and Michael Bay.
I still haven't seen it yet. Is that so
okay.
horrible?
Yeah.
Nostrils and fucking turtle boners.
Just,
That's all.
Like,
just-
they don't really care about that.
Awesome.
just red box it and get drunk, and you'll be okay.
Or I'll just illegally watch it. That's
Or
how I
that.
watch all my movies anyway.
Do it.
It's the way to do it.
Jacob, 2 comic book movies or games you would like to see remade, go or made.
Oh man. I'd like to see him just do some other stuff from the DC universe. Like,
Yeah.
all they stick with is Batman. And yeah, I understand Batman's like the most popular character, but there's so many other awesome characters from the DC universe. Let's forget about Superman after the N64 game where you fly around through rings.
Yeah.
Lobo?
Oh, Lobo.
We don't need another Superman game, but there's so many other awesome characters. Let's see something from them.
Yeah.
And
I
I
would like
personally
to see
hope
a
that
Flash
Telltale
game.
makes another Wolf Among Us.
Yeah, I hope so too. Like, I hope they continue that story because it was really. I mean, everyone's like, "Oh, it was a shameless plug for the comics." I'm like, "Well, that's where the story continues." But I would love for them to just kind of veer off on their own and do something because that was a lot of fun.
I still need to finish that. I have the whole series on PC, and I need to finish it.
Yep.
And I need to finish season 2 of Walking Dead for the record.
Lance,
Oh,
I'm
nobody's
gonna
been talking
spoil
about
things
Walking
for
Dead.
you. I'm
Are
gonna
you?
spoil everything unless you finish it quickly.
Okay, Lance, you've been warned. Mandy, you've played 2 comic book games that you can think of. What would it
Yeah.
What would it take to get you to play a comic book game? What comic book could they
Don't
make?
say Michael
I
Fassbender.
don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. He's always in my mind.
Michael
so-
Fassbender strip show.
I don't think that
Yes.
that'll ever work in the U.S.
Yes, it will. I'll
Um,
buy every copy.
Well, so I didn't know that, and I'm apparently naive. I didn't know that like half of the ones you guys just named were comic books. Like I had no idea that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, if you're Randy,
hey.
I didn't know that was a I didn't know that was a comic. So I played that on my
You
old
mean
school
Teenage Mutant
Nintendo.
Ninja Turtles?
Teenage Mutant Turtles. Yeah, and I loved that game. And my neighbors borrowed it when in the 90s, from marketing, and I
Holding up
never got it
evidence.
back again. But anyway, so I would love to play another one. One that's like, I don't know, I like old school games that are old school, like genres. So I would love to play that. And then something new that they haven't made or that I haven't played, I would love to play Thor. Like, I would love to do a Thor's world game,
Would
because
love
Thor
to
is
do
my
Thor,
favorite.
yeah.
I would love to do Thor, of course, if you've seen him. No, but Thor is my favorite Avenger, and him and Loki obviously are just like fabulous. But I think that'd be really fun if you got to play, if they, because they're capitalizing so much with the Avengers and with all the different movies. Why not do individual games to go along with them, and marry the two? So that's
Or
what I would
just
like.
have them kiss.
Just, maybe a little peck. It's okay. No, that's gross, actually. I don't want that.
Dude, kissing is gross. Chris,
Gross.
do you have any comic book wants or needs?
Did you say me?
Yep.
I'd go with an Iron Man game. I'd want an Iron Man game that's in the vein of Batman, even made by Rocksteady. I think that'd be the shit.
Yeah. Because did you
Oh
play
my
Iron?
God,
Did you play it?
Rocksteady made that? Wow.
Right, because it could be good. Because if you played the Iron Man 2 game that Sega did, it was real shitty, like heartbreakingly shitty. So it
The
would
thing
have
that
to be
Rocksteady
Rocksteady.
AAA game.
better
Yeah.
than anyone else who's made a superhero video game is that they didn't just focus on one element of the superhero. The problem with Superman was that they only focused on flying and they didn't care about anything else. The problem with the Spider-Man games was they focused on swinging through the city and didn't care
Mhm.
about anything else.
Yeah.
And that's where the games lacked. But Batman, what made it well balanced was the fact that they made sure Batman was well balanced. It wasn't just, okay, let's make sure he has a Batarang. And I know Jacob just plays Batman games to watch Batman die, and that's fine. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, we're gonna call it a night. But we have one final thing to walk out on. I'm gonna pop it to Lance's screen. So we have spent the entire episode with Lance sitting in the same matchmaking lobby without finding a game. So
Oh,
40
disconnected
48 minutes.
from Bungie.
I think you need new
343
internet. Just saying,
Studios.
possibly.
I've been able to connect my internet to this call.
So thanks for
It's a
tuning in,
beautiful song.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Chris, thank you so much for talking StarCraft and filling us in on BlizzCon.
Yep.
Broken matchmaking.
I'm just gonna. I'm just
4343.
I'm just
You had
fading
one
out.
job.
Stop singing. You're done. Good night, everybody. Good night.
Adios.
Okay, but now for Thanksgiving, can you cancel it and credit?
I already did that for the record during it.
I